as you know, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are two of the most important days of the year in the e-commerce Etsy space. The problem is most people just panic and try to prepare last minute. They don't prepare at all, or they don't prepare fully for their shops to maximize the amount of sales they could get. It's no surprise that some of the top sellers on Etsy see a spike of upwards of 40% of their daily sales during the holiday times. But not everyone benefits. And so that is why in this video, we are going to go over the 4 things that you can start doing yesterday to prepare your shop for the max holiday sales, specifically leading up to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So let's get into it. The top sellers that are seeing those 40 to 50% spike in their sales revenue during the holiday season have 4 things in common. So let's go into number 1. Number 1 is they prepare their existing listings in advance. So technically, now, basically, you can start adding keywords into your existing listings. Now, we're not changing a lot of things in the existing listings that we already have, which we're going to explain that in a second. As far as what is your lowest hanging fruit that you can do now is that you can start adding fall, holiday, Christmas related keywords to your existing listings in your titles, tags, and descriptions, right? So you could be using things like Christmas gift, personalized gift, holiday gift, Hanukkah gift, whatever words are the most closely related to your product, keyword product fit that makes sense for your specific products. Now, what I would not do is put things like fall themed or holiday themed, right? And try to force keywords into your listing that don't actually match what the product is. So I would not do that because then you're just going to get a lot of exposure and a lot of clicks, but no purchases, right? So we wanted to actually fall into what the product could be. So if it was just a shirt like this, that's not really holiday themed, you could still put Christmas gift on it, but I wouldn't put, fall themed or Christmas themed shirt if it's not an actual themed shirt, if that makes sense. Historically on Etsy, the 2 biggest keywords that are searched for, especially during the holidays times, is holiday gift, personalized gift, and Christmas gift. And remember, this is for your current existing listings, right? We're not changing our thumbnails on existing listings, especially if those listings perform really well currently. Now we're going to get into number 2 right now, where we're going to dive deeper into that. This is very, very important. We're not changing the image of our existing listings. We're just adding in holiday specific keywords. Number 2, after we do the lowest hanging fruit, which is just add those holiday specific keywords, is create irresistible targeted listings for holiday specific searches. So how is this different from number 1? Number 1 is that you were just editing existing listings. We're not changing the image. We're just adding keywords. Number 2 is that since on Etsy, the proven way to grow your sales is by what? Launching new products to sell and getting your Etsy ads to the max, right? Those are the 2 growth tactics that are the majority of how you make your money on Etsy. So going back to number 1, since you're already consistently or should be consistently launching new products to sell, right? What we can do is in your holiday batches of listings that you're launching, you can funnel in holiday specific listings. So what does this actually look like? This means creating specifically targeted holiday bundles and listings that are for holiday specific. So you could take a proven product like this that is selling really well already, and you could put it on a holiday specific mock-up. So you're not changing the design or even maybe the blank that it's positioned on. You're just changing the mock-up so it looks like it's made specifically for a holiday. You're going to have basically 2 listings for that same product, but remember, different mock-ups attract different customer avatars. You don't ever want to edit the image of a proven listing that's already making sales, right? That's why we only change the keywords, but we can always duplicate it and run it again. This is a huge mistake that people do, is sometimes they just will wipe out all of their images because they want to change it to being holiday. But remember, that listing is already judged by the algorithm. You don't want to potentially threaten losing your SEO or your rank because now all of a sudden Etsy doesn't know they have to recalibrate your SEO with a new image. And that image is the number one thing that affects your click-through rate, why people click. So if you want to take all of your best sellers and put holiday-specific mockups on it, it is better to duplicate and run it again with those keywords. And yes, even though they're running against each other, right, you're still attracting different clicks for people that are really, really looking for something that stands out in the Christmas world. So you can do this really well with candles, with mugs, with shirts, pretty much any product where you can restage them in holiday-specific staging environments. So it looks a lot of things like this, or like this, or like this. And of course, in that listing launch process, you potentially are just relaunching your proven product and changing the staging environment. But two, you are launching actually new holiday-specific products. And when you do this, it's very important that you're backing all of your decisions with research. So we are in ProfitTree's lifetime access plan. So ProfitTree has a lifetime deal that gets access to everything that I'm showing you here, right? Product Finder and SE Radar. So what I'm talking about is when you're launching products, right, you're doing a mix of just relaunching things that are already proven in your shop, just changing that staging environment, but then you're also launching new bundles and new holiday specific products. And so we want to validate that with some research. So I typed in the keyword shirt gift here, and you can see all of the top sellers. If you look here, I even filtered, so I used one of their filter options here with the badge bestseller. So I only want to see listings that are proven best sellers. And you can see that under 9 months, we have some really heavy hitters here. So these are technically not, I didn't type in Christmas gift shirt, but you also could do that. So what are we looking for when we're looking for proven products to sell? So if we click on this one here, you can see 2 people bought this in the last 24 hours and it has a bestseller badge, right? And so this one is not really holiday specific, but it's proven to work, right? We see that they're doing a daily sales strategy. So that means they're maybe increasing the price so that the end price with 55% off is still profitable. I also see they're doing loss leader pricing. So, their least sold variation option is $12, but they're basically breaking even on the least sold variation option, but then they have higher priced items when they choose different sizes, right? And when I say change the staging environment, right, you could take a comfort colors green and just put this on a holiday specific mock-up, right, where maybe there's like some Christmas ornaments or something around this, where now all of a sudden this holiday gift, so positive gift idea or Christmas gift idea is now staged and ready for the actual holiday season. And it's telling us very important information here. They offer free shipping. They're not personalized, right? And we have some really, really good insights here on their pricing strategy, their sales strategy, and it's proven with demand, right? And obviously, I wouldn't go one-to-one and just rip this person's design, but a positive gift idea could be something along the lines, right? Be you, the world will adjust, right? Maybe you don't rip that exact saying, but you go to ChatGPT and give it this as an example, but give you other ideas that give off that same emotional pull. Another one here is this little ray of pitch black. So if we click on that one, right, we can see it has a 20 add to carts badge, a bestseller badge, right? This could be another really cool, funny idea that you can follow, right? So maybe instead of doing a little ray of pitch black, right, you could look up again something on ChatGPT to give you that same idea with that monochrome look. So the comedic feel to this is that instead of it being a bright color, right, maybe there's something that you can do along the lines that give this, a little ray of X, but it's like a different color or something like that. And again, you could do that in that different staging environment. So remember, this is ProfitTree's lifetime offer deal, right? You basically get unlimited searches on Etsy Radar Product Finder. The only things that are blurred out here is conversion rate and visibility score, but you get unlimited searches on this. You also get 30 days of profit tracking, so you can utilize their profit tracking dashboard. And if you connect your shop, you can use a 30-day calendar window of their advertisement report. It's just locked here because there's no shop connected. So you can check that link out in the description, and let's get back into this video. So far, we've talked about 2 main things. We've talked about your lowest hanging fruit, which is just editing your existing listings. Then we talked about launching holiday-specific listings, either just revamping proven listings already that sell with holiday-specific mockups, or creating new listings and new bundles, irresistible offers that are holiday-specific based off of data. Now, let's go into number 3. The third most important thing that top sellers do is they start retargeting. And this isn't something that is just subject to the holidays. However, this is something that you can start now that will help you prepare for the holidays, which is building your email list legally on Etsy, right? If you do retargeting and email marketing properly in your e-commerce business, this could amount to 30 to 40% of your sales. There is no surprise that top companies, West Elm, CB2, Zara, Williams-Sonoma, if you are signed up for their list, they are contacting you 2 to 3 times per week with their offers. Now, we don't need to do that. We can do it in a way that is not spamming our audience, but building a list to then retarget them is very, very important, because when you do this, you are not only becoming an owner of your own customer database, but you're building another revenue stream that you can tap into anytime to send them offers or deals and updates to remind them that you exist. After you get a sale on Etsy, the worst thing that you can do is be like, bye customer, never talk to you again. You want to keep that conversation going as long as possible, especially during the holiday season where they're getting bombarded with offers all the time. You want to show up on their screen as much as possible. And so the way that we are going to do this and do this legally is with something called Omnisend. I personally only talk about things that I actually use, and I have been using Omnisend for my e-commerce brands since 2019. Omnisend is an all-in-one platform for retargeting, right? They can do your emails, they can do your email automations. That means when emails fire by themselves without you doing it manually. They do your SMS, so your text message marketing. They create your forms, and they even obviously integrate with Shopify. So if you have a Shopify store, you should already be using them if you are someone that is doing Etsy and Shopify at the same time. So how can we do this with Etsy, and how can we do this legally? Let me show you. All right, so now we need to go ahead and actually make a way for people to opt in. So I'm going to go to forms and I'm going to click on create forms. Now, the Omnisend AI forms are really great, but that is more so for Shopify right now. This is like a form to embed into your website. We actually need a landing page. So I'm going to click create manually, and I am going to click on a landing page as the type, right? Because what we need Omnisend to do is generate us a link. So here is a landing page, right? And you can come in here and edit this and make this as beautiful and as cohesive with your brand as possible, right? And so you can even do a lot of advanced settings, right? Because different forms have different sign-up rates. And so the goal with this is to basically have a sexy offer here. Sign up for 20% off your Etsy purchase, right? Do something like this, right? We can change the background image if we want. I recommend that you change the image to being probably something that showcases your products, your best-selling products and stuff like that. When you reiterate your best-selling products, that helps encourage, the opt-in rate. And what we're going to do after this is once we set this all up, we're going to enable form. And this is going to give us a link, right? And so now if we actually go to this link, right, this link is where people are going to sign up. And so we are going to embed this link in a couple of different places in your Etsy shop. So the 3 areas where we can install this is 1, in your Etsy shop announcements, right? You can put the link there. Yes, they have to copy and paste it, but if they want the discount code, that's where they'll get it. 2, you can put it in the actual Etsy listing via a QR code. So if they scan it, they can sign up via their phone to get the discount code sent to their email. And number 3, you can also put it in your shipping confirmation. So actually one of the most profitable emails that you can send in e-commerce is a shipping confirmation, because they're the most warmest, hottest traffic after they've already spent money with you. And so there's a place that you can actually edit this in Etsy and add this link to your shipping confirmation email. Now, obviously you have your standard follow-up emails that Etsy sends, and you're going to want to make sure that those are all checked as well. But you want to capitalize on every moment of truth and every opportunity that you can with Etsy to have another point of contact. Now, once this is set up, we are going to want to set up an automation. And automation is something that says, if the customer does this, then we do that. So we're going to go ahead and create a welcome workflow, and we are going to tell them what they're going to get. So we have to make a trigger of when they're actually going to start getting emails. So we're going to click on this box here, and we're going to click subscribe to marketing. And the trigger is the form is, and then we're going to select the title of the form that we just created, right? And then we're going to save it, right? And then we can delete these other variables. So if they filled out this form, then this automation begins firing, and it can wait after 1 minute, and then we can go ahead and create that welcome email. So here is a template here, so we can go ahead and start editing that email that they're going to receive. So they have a discount, an automatic discount box here, which we're going to want to delete because this is for Shopify. So if you have a Shopify store, this automatic discount box will make a redeemable discount code for your Shopify customers. However, since this is for Etsy, you're going to need to set up a discount code in Etsy and then put it here and just give them the discount code. So we can come in here and basically delete this and just write out your code is love20, right? And then you're going to want to set up that discount code in Etsy. Now, the rule of thumb with this is that this is not something that is going to just compound overnight. Not 100% of your people that are purchasing from you are going to sign up, right? Maybe after every 100 sales, you get 5 to 10 people signing up. But when you do this over long periods of time, the rule of thumb is that you should make $1 from every single person that exists in your list per month. So if you're sending out 1 to 2 emails per week and you have 1,000 people in your email list, then you should at least be monetizing your list of $1,000 every single month. If you're sending out emails, at least 1 to 2 per week. So once this is finished editing, we're going to go back to the automation, and you can see that you don't have to stop there. You can continue scheduling other emails after this. So it's all automated. So you could delay, right? This is waiting 1 minute in between here and here. You could delay 2 days and send another follow-up email, right? And this is an automated process. Another thing that we personally do is we actually send this after every single purchase. So on top of the 3 moments of truth I already shared, we also additionally ask people to sign up for our newsletter. If they message us or if we get a purchase, we manually send them a thank you message offering them this discount for a second purchase via the Etsy chat. And of course, we're driving this traffic back to Etsy, so we're actually all within Etsy's terms of service. As you start building your list and you have your automations going, then you can start sending out something called campaigns. Now, campaigns are not automatic. You can create campaigns for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of the different holidays. And Omnisend has a bunch of different templates that you can choose from, right? So you can do fashion lifestyle, right? You can promote special products, announce a sale, offer a discount, and you can utilize their already pre-built templates for your one-off campaigns, right? Automations are the emails that fire automatically. Campaigns are the ones that you send up manually, and you can schedule them in advance. And remember, the top companies are sending out emails 2 to 3 times per week. So if you're doing at least a minimum of once per week, that is really great. And again, when growing this list, it is something that you're setting up for the long play. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And leading up to those Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you're going to even want to push it a little further. So if historically you are doing 1 email per week, leading up to that week, try to shoot for 1 to 2 per week at least. Now, the fourth and final thing that top Etsy sellers do to be prepared for Black Friday is Etsy marketing, right? So this is utilizing Etsy on-site and off-site ads. Now, in that Profit-Tree lifetime offer, you actually get an entirely free Etsy ads masterclass because there is an ads optimization tool. Do not run ads just for the holidays if you don't know how to run ads. If you do not understand ads, how they work, how you're bidding, what they cost, if you don't know what your profit is today, like if you can't look at me and tell me what your profit is in your store, your net profit on a month-to-month basis percentage, if you don't know your profit percentage right now, then you should not even be running ads because that means you're running them blind. You're not actually following a target or a goal for your shop. So Profitry has an ads optimization tool. You get a 30-day calendar window included with your lifetime plan, and they give you the education for it. So there's a masterclass that's included on Etsy ads. Etsy ads, at the very minimum, if done right, is going to at least 2x your revenue and increase your profit by 20%, right? But if you don't know your numbers, you should not even look at ads. So you're going to want to make sure that if you do start running them, start with tools like Profitry that has an ads optimization tool, and go through that Etsy ads masterclass that is included with that $67 purchase, right? And it's, again, Etsy ads are not something that you just run during the holidays. I put it in this video though, because a lot of people think that they're supposed to just run it during the holidays, but that is a myth, right? You actually should be running Etsy ads all year round. And if you're not competing against top competition. But again, that link is in the description, so you can check that out. All right, guys, if you got any value out of this video, make sure you comment Black Friday down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.